What they found in the snow changed everything. It's been over 6 decades since that fateful night on Kholat Shakhl, yet the Dyatlov Pass Incident continues to haunt the minds of many. What really happened to those 9 hikers? Why did they flee their tent in the dead of night, barefoot and ill-prepared for the brutal cold? And how did they sustain such bizarre injuries, internal trauma without corresponding external wounds, missing eyes and tongues? The questions pile up like the thick snow that buried their campsite, stubbornly refusing to melt away with time. The official investigation, at least the one that was released to the public, was brief and cryptic. The cause of death was simply listed as a compelling natural force. No specifics, no clear answers. Soviet authorities closed the case quickly, and many of the details were kept classified, leaving the families and the world in the dark, desperate for some closure. But that closure only fueled theories, wild, grim, and sometimes downright unbelievable. Some say an avalanche forced the hikers out into the cold. After all, they had torn their tent open from the inside, suggesting a panic-driven escape. But a full-scale avalanche would likely have left clear signs on the slope, and experts have noted that the terrain wasn't prone to avalanches of that size. Plus, this theory doesn't explain the strange injuries or why the hikers were found far from the tent in different directions. Others speculate about secret military tests. The area was known to be near Soviet military sites, and there were reports of strange orange lights in the sky that night. Could those lights have been missile tests or parachute mines? Could the hikers have accidentally stumbled into a classified exercise? Could they have been victims of some military experiment gone wrong, or worse, silenced to protect state secrets? The presence of radiation on some of their clothing adds an eerie layer to this theory that's hard to ignore. Then there's the paranormal angle. Local folklore tells of strange creatures roaming the Urals, Yeti, or some other unknown entity. Could the hikers have encountered something unexplainable and terrifying? While this idea sounds like something out of a campfire story, it taps into the profound mystery that refuses to be solved by science alone. It's that mix of the unknown and the natural world that keeps people fascinated and fearful. Modern investigations have tried to piece together the puzzle with today's technology and expertise. In 2019, a new probe suggested a possible avalanche scenario combined with hypothermia and panic, using 3D simulations and expert analysis. This theory argued that the hikers fled their tent because they feared the snow above was unstable, leading to fatal mistakes. But critics of the report point out that this still doesn't fully explain all the injuries, especially the brutal internal trauma found in some of the victims. What's even more perplexing is the behavior of the hikers that night. Imagine waking up to a storm, the threat of an avalanche pressing down on you like a heavy weight. In panic, you slash your way out of the tent, barefoot with no warm clothes, into freezing darkness. You stumble through deep snow, disoriented and desperate, the cold biting at every exposed inch of skin. Some try to build a fire, others wander off in different directions. But why? Why split up? That decision sealed their fate. Then there are the strange, unsettling details. Missing body parts like eyes and tongues that were never fully explained. Were they taken by animals? Predators attracted by the bodies? Or is there something else entirely? Forensic experts say scavenging could explain some of the injuries, but not the deep internal trauma that seemed to come from a force far beyond any normal animal attack. Yuri Yudin, the lone survivor who turned back early due to illness, lived with these haunting questions all his life. He believed that the official records were incomplete and that the truth was buried beneath layers of military secrecy and bureaucracy. Other survivors and witnesses have reported strange phenomena in the area over the years, but nothing concrete has ever surfaced. The Dyatlov Pass mystery also left a deep cultural mark in Russia and beyond. It has inspired countless books, documentary, movies, and investigations. Some see it as a cautionary tale about nature's fury and human vulnerability. Others see it as a symbol of Cold War secrecy and the unknown dangers lurking behind the Iron Curtain. It's a story that resonates on many levels: fear, mystery, tragedy, and the limits of human understanding. In recent years, the Russian government even reopened the investigation, aiming to finally put the mystery to rest. Their conclusion in 2020 was that a slab avalanche was the most likely cause, emphasizing natural elements rather than conspiracies. But many remain unconvinced, holding on to the idea that something darker or more complicated must have happened. After all, the hikers' strange injuries and mysterious behavior don't easily fit into any simple explanation. For the families who lost their loved ones, no explanation is ever really enough. The uncertainty, the haunting questions, they remain. And for the rest of us, the story of the Dyatlov Pass is a chilling reminder of how nature, fear, and mystery can combine in ways that defy logic and challenge the boundaries of what we think we know. What happened that night on Kholat Shakhl? The answer still hides beneath the snow and silence of the Ural Mountains. Maybe one day, new evidence will emerge. Until then, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of history's most baffling and tragic mysteries, an enigma wrapped in snow and silence. And that's the legacy of those 9 brave hikers, lost to the mountain, lost to time, but never forgotten. Their story lives on, a haunting reminder that sometimes the greatest mysteries are not just about what we see, but what remains hidden beneath the surface.